Alright guys, let's rock and roll on these practice problems. There's a lot of them, and you know the drill. I'm going to go pretty darn fast, but you could ask me if you don't understand what I'm doing when we're in tutorials, okay? Evaluate the expression -1 minus 4. If I see a subtraction in the middle, I'm going to do bang bang. So I'm going to change it to plus a minus, and they now have the same sign, so I just add them like normal and stick the negative back on. Number 2, 5 minus 3. Okay, if you don't like that it's a subtraction, you can bang bang it. Bang, bang. And now they have different signs, so you take their difference and you leave it as a positive 2 because the bigger number here is a 5 and it was a positive. Number 3, 3 plus 7. We don't need any rules for that, hopefully. You could just add those. -8 and -4. There's already a plus in the middle, so you don't have to bang bang it. They have the same sign, so you just put the numbers together, and since they both had a negative, they have a negative here. -3 minus 8. Okay, there's a minus in the middle, and I don't usually like that, so I'm going to change that to a plus and do a bang bang, so plus and negative. Now they have the same sign, so you add them and stick that negative on it. Number 6, -6 plus 5. Okay, they have different signs, and when they have different signs, there's already a plus in the middle, so we just take the difference between 6 and 5, and it's going to end up being a negative because the bigger number here is 6, and it had a negative on it. Number 7, 5 plus a -5. Okay, well, this has already got a plus in the middle, and they're opposite signs, so you're supposed to... what are you supposed to do? If they're opposite, you're supposed to take the difference. So what's the difference between 5 and 5? It's 0. And you don't need a plus or minus on 0. 4 minus -6. Okay, I don't like a minus in the middle, so I'm going to bang bang it. Plus, plus. Now it's just 4 plus 6, which is 10. Number 9, 11/8. Plus a -7/5. Okay, this is kind of a two-parter. We're going to have to get a common denominator, and then we'll have to use our rules from just a second ago. So for the common denominator, let's think of a number that 8 and 5 both go into, and I think that number is 40. So I'm just recopying the signs in the middle. Now 8 times 5 is 40, so the top is 55. 5 times 8 is 40, so 7 times 8, what is 7 times 8? 56? Okay. Now, we recopy the denominator, yay, but now let's look up here. I have a plus, a negative, so this one's positive, this one's negative, so I'm supposed to take the difference, which is 1, and the bigger number wins. So it's a -1/40. I'll be excited to see if anybody got that right. That's pretty tricky. Okay, -1/3. Plus -5/4. So let's first start with the common denominator, which 12 is a good one for that, right? 3 times 4 is 12, so the top becomes a 4, and I'm going to recopy that minus. This is times 3, so this is times 3. Okay, so we recopy the bottom of 12, and a -4 plus a -15. They have the same sign, so you just add them together and keep the sign. So that would be your answer. If you turned it into a mixed number, that's okay. I don't know if I would have done that, but you can. What is 19 minus? So some of you learned how to go back and forth, and you might feel better with this. That's okay. It's perfectly acceptable. All right, number 11. 2 1/5 plus 5/6. Okay. We need to change this first. I need improper fractions. So I'm going to turn this thing into an 11/5 plus a 5/6. Now I'm going to get a common denominator, okay? 5 and 6 both go into the number 30. 5 times 6, so the top becomes 66. 6 times 5, so 5 times 5 goes there. They have the same sign. It's just a plus and a plus, so we can just add the two numbers together. So what is 66 plus 25? Something I can't do in my head. That's an 11, 7, 8, 91. Okay, so I would leave it as 91/30. If you want it to be improper, you could have done 3 1/30. So either way is fine. Number 12. 1/3 plus a negative 1 5/8. Okay, so first things first, change that to an improper. So 1/3 plus a negative, that would be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 eighths. Now they have a different denominator, so we need to make the same denominator. So what does 8 and 3 both go into? How about 24? So 3 times 8, which makes the top 8. 8 times 3, so we got to times the top by 3, so that's going to be like 39. Ooh, this is a toughie. All right, recopy the denominator. Now, it's a positive 8 plus a negative 39. They have different signs, so I need to take their difference. So the difference between 39 and 8 is 31, and will it be a positive or a negative? Well, the bigger number up here is 39, so that will be a negative. And I would not make that a mixed number, I'd just leave it alone. Number 13, now we're into multiplying. Okay, so we've got 2 times negative 5. All right, if one of them's negative, the answer's negative. It doesn't matter which one, okay? Number 14, 4 times negative 7. So 4 times negative 7, I'm multiplying it 28, and it should be negative because one of them's negative. Number 15, negative 3 times 9. Well, only one of them's negative, so the answer is negative. Let's go over to 16 over here. 16 is negative 8 times a negative 4. Okay, they're both negative, so if they have the same sign, then your answer is always positive. So just multiply, it's always positive, okay, if they have the same sign. 17, negative 2 times negative 7/5. Okay, well, I know the answer is going to be positive because they have the same sign and we're multiplying them. So I'm just going to ignore those, and now I've got to do 2 times 7/5. Well, if you forgot how to do that, remember you could put a whole number over 1. Then just do top times top, bottom times bottom. So 14 over 5. Number 18, negative 17 tenths times 7 ninths. Okay, one of them's negative, which means the answer's negative. And how do I multiply fractions? Well, I try to reduce. So is there a number that goes into 17 and 10? No. Is there a number that goes into 7 and 9? No. And then I look at my diagonal. Can I do 7 and 19, or vice versa, 17 and 9? I can't think of a number there. Is there a number that goes into 10 and 7? No. So nowhere can I reduce a fraction. I can't think of any number to take out, which means I've got to do top times top and bottom times bottom. Now, 9 times 10 is easy. It's just 90, but 17 times 7 is gross. So I've got to figure that one out to the side. I think I'm getting 119 over 90, and that is a negative answer. So that one was mean. Sorry, I made that up. I will try to avoid dumb problems like that in the future. Okay, so we're down to number 19. Number 19 is negative 5 times 1/3, okay? So one of these is negative, so the answer is negative. And now, to multiply, remember, stick a whole number over 1, and now it's a fraction, and you can do top times top and bottom times bottom. Number 20, negative 6/7 times, is that a 7/6? Negative 7/6. Okay, they're both negative. Okay, so if they're both negative, the answer will always be positive because they have the same sign, okay? So I know the answer is positive. Now, how do I get an answer? Well, these don't reduce, but look at your diagonal. Is there a number that goes into 6 and 6? But of course, it's 6, and it goes into itself one time. Is there a number that goes into 7 and 7? Yes, there is. It is 7. So I have 1 times 1 over 1 times 1. So the answer to that problem is a big fat 1. Number 21, I've got negative 2 and 1/6 times 3/10. Okay, before I multiply these, I want them to be improper. I hate what I'm looking at here, okay? So I'm going to make this improper. So 2 times 6 is 12 plus 1. So this is really negative 13/6 times 3/10. Okay, Now, it's a negative times a positive, so since one of them's negative, the answer is negative. And now I can just focus on the numbers. Is there anything that goes into 13 and 10? No, but 3 and 6, 3 goes into. Now, 3 goes into itself once, and 3 goes into this one twice. Top times top is 13, because it's just 13 times 1. Bottom times bottom is 2 times 10, which is 20. So that would be your final answer. And the last one, 22. I know you're sad it's the last one. Negative 3 and 2/5 times 1/2. Okay, whew, this will be fun. Same thing. I don't like the way this is written, so I'm going to turn that improper. So 3 times 5 is 15, 17/5, and then a 1/2. Okay, is that right? Yes. All right, so one of them's negative, so the answer will be negative. And now, can I reduce 17 with anybody else? No. 2 does not go into 17. 5 does not go into 17. Nobody reduces, so it's just top times top, bottom times bottom. And that would be your final answer. Hopefully this went okay. And this is something that you really want to be good at. If you want games, look up integer games on coolmath.com. And those will get you faster at this. There's a lot of integer games on coolmath.com to make sure that you understand how to do the adding, subtracting, multiplying, and number line stuff. So give it a go if you're bored later this week. All right, laters.